When I was 12, I thought I wanted to be an architect. I kind of moved away from it for a while into classical music, classical piano, and then I came back to it when I had had enough of that. I went to school in Cambridge, Mass, and I went to MIT undergrad and I went to Harvard graduate school. And my first job was actually at Werner Johnson. I left for a little while. I worked at a couple of different firms, and then I was asked to come back at Werner Johnson, which I did. It's hard to beat doing cultural buildings, you know, doing museums. I'd rather be doing this than doing other types of buildings. And I've been there a long time. I've been there 19 years. And we found out about this project through the contractor, the construction management company, McCown Gordon Construction, who built the museum and built most of the first phase of the Prairiefire development. I don't think they did the residences, but I think they built everything else, that construction company. And we had done a project with them in Manhattan, Kansas, the Flint Hills Discovery Center. And they were already working with Fred and Candy Merrill, and who had an architect and had a design, but they weren't that crazy about it, or they were hoping for something better, or it wasn't quite what they were hoping. So McCown Gordon suggested that they talk to us. So I went and met with Fred, with Brad Niederhoff from our office, and we had a great talk with Fred. And from there, he wanted us involved. Now, how the process of how we were involved took a little while. We weren't sure how we would be involved. How it worked out is that we became the architect. So, so I was in there right from the beginning. You know, when Werner Johnson started to become involved, I was there right in the beginning, and it was a very slow start. I was actually the only one working on this. Probably from February to October of 2013, I think. Or 2012, it would have been 2012. So that's why I'm so intimately connected to this building, because I was the only one doing it. It was, you know, I mean, the concepts through the detailing, the elevations. At some point when we started more into design development, I got some help at the office. And and it was a very fast-paced project. Design development was only a couple months. We had 2 phases of construction documents. It was a very fast-tracked project to design. But during construction, you know, construction is an interesting thing. You can't. It's hard to draw everything, right? There are always some holes, some gaps. Hopefully ones that don't affect cost, and I don't think they did. And then as you start construction, you look to see, okay, what has not been detailed? And it's mainly really detailing. And then you start developing more documents. So actually a lot of the documents for this building were developed right as it started construction. Like, for instance, the metal panels, you know, we had a certain number of colors, what those colors were, you know, the pattern of them, that was not completely developed. So there was still a lot of work to do along the way.